ready in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Where my mom's at? Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at? Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at?
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Jeans. I paid DMX $500,000 for this before he died. Wasn't that an amazing intro?
Are you serious?
Yeah. Guys.
I feel like I'm being punked, guys.
Just a little. No. Revolution Hall in Portland, Oregon. Literally like 100 tickets left on that one. What is it? Roanoke Park, California. A few there. Park West in Chicago, Illinois. April 29th, April 30th, Turner Hall Ballroom, Milk Jockey, Wisconsin. And then May 13th, Charlestown, West Virginia at the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown. Races, ChristinaPOnline.com for tickets. Thank you so much to everybody that's come out. It's been a maze. I limitedly tour. I don't go out a lot, but when I do, it's a lot of fun. Buy my lipstick, Christina P's Perfect Red. I get it from Italy. It is such an exquisite formula. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from all the women that have worn it. They just love it. So thank you so much. Get that at my store. All right. Now, with me, you guys know who the fuck this is. You guys know who Corinne fucking Fisher is.
Hello.
From the Guys We Fuck podcast. Thank you so much for making a stop here today. I know you're busy and I appreciate you so much.
I'm less busy than probably people would think. I was just remembering that I saw that you put the lipstick out, and when I saw you do that, I was like, this is why this bitch is so rich. It's a genius idea. I'm so mad. I once DM'd someone to see if they wanted to do a lipstick collab with me, and they just left me on red. And it was like a much less famous brand than just like me as a person. And they were like, no, thank you. We're good.
Isn't that terrible? The rejection. You know, I got rejected to be on the show on Netflix. Do you know the show Is It Cake?
Yes, I'm very familiar with that. They said you're not good enough to decide whether or not it's cake.
Pass. And I got to tell you, my agent's like, don't you want to be on, the next season of whatever? And I'm like, no, I just want to do Is It Cake as a judge. And
I understand.
They turned me down for cycle 2. So, hey, if you're watching this, the Is It Cake casting, I'm still here. I don't hold it against you. I'm still here. So rejection at every level of this business, no matter where you are.
Did they give you a reason? Because I always ask my agent to get me a reason. I'm like, tell me I'm a fat whore. Do it, do it, daddy. Like, I want to know why, because I used to be in representation before I was a comic, so I can handle it. And I need to know, is it something I can fix, or is it something that's just like I have to live with?
What? So you're saying you were an agent before?
I was a talent manager's. I was like a junior talent manager. At Liebman Entertainment, shout out. That's where Christina Hutchinson and I met.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. They rep Lin-Manuel Miranda. They're doing great.
Wow.
Fancy place.
What is the number one reason for people not getting an acting job, if you're listening?
They won't give a real answer, but I'm pretty sure it's because you're fat. Yeah. I'm like 100% sure. When I gain or lose 20 pounds, my life changes. And I wish that wasn't so.
So true. You know what? People are like, yeah, you lose the weight and you won't be happy. Not true.
I'm ecstatic.
I love it. Yeah. I lose weight and like, it's one less thing to hate about myself. When you go through the checklist of shit, and weight was always such an easy go-to for me, but now that that's like not there, I really am happier.
Yeah,
I like it.
I actually don't hate anything about myself, which is what makes me so unlikable. But methinks I've done some looking into it. But it is like I feel like I've worked too hard to have like donuts be the thing holding me back, and that's what makes me angry about it. So I'm like, I'll just fucking lose it.
Yeah, I get angry at myself too. And to your question, no, I don't want to know why some casting director doesn't like me. I'm sure, you know what it is, because I've worked in casting. And 9 times out of 10, it's like, I don't know that person. I don't feel anything when I look at them. Maybe they're,
Wow, that's her. I don't feel anything when I look at them.
Yeah, like sometimes you're like, this is not for you. And you don't know why. It's an intangible thing. So who the fuck knows? So you said that. Now this is funny. You said that you're unlikable. That's what
people have told. I find myself very likable.
I think you're delightful.
Thank you.
Who finds you unlikable?
A lot of men.
That's terrible. How do you know this? Are they telling you?
Oh, they're telling me, and I'm getting Google AdSense money for it. Every time they write "cum bucket," I'm like, well, at least I got a penny for that. So it does feel kind of okay.
So you're saying online people are commenting, and they're
sure.
Is there Reddit's?
I stopped looking at Reddit a long time ago. That's where I lost a boyfriend mentally years ago to Reddit with conspiracy theories. So that's a very sore subject for me. So I cannot go there anymore. But yeah, I mean, this has been happening since I was a little kid, though. People just don't. People either really, really love me and get obsessed with me. I've had a lot of stalkers.
Wow, really?
Yeah, my comedy partner, Christina, she's always very jealous. She's like, you get so many stalkers. And I was like, well, okay, but everyone just kind of generally likes you. I was like, so yes, I have stalkers if that's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
But also then I've had a death threat so severe that the FBI had to get involved.
Oh my goodness.
The guy said he was going to kill me with a guillotine though. And I was like, I feel like I'll hear that coming into the club.
Yeah, the bouncer won't let that guy.
Yeah, I was like, I love how vintage you're going on this. It really speaks to me as a person. But it was just a funny thing. And I showed up to a show and there was
oh my god,
there was 6 squad cars outside, and I was like, who got in a fight? And they were like, Corinne, these are here for you. And I was like, and then I went to, oh no, what did I do?
Of course.
I was like, cancel culture's really gotten out of hand, you know? And then they were like, no, this is because of the death threat. And I was like, oh, am I famous?
You took it as a compliment.
Yeah, I was like, holy
awesome.
shit, Guys We Fuck blew up,
So what do you think it is about your personality that people are either drawn to or not?
Well, what I've learned over the years of doing Guys We Fuck quite seriously is I didn't realize, I knew people obviously had low self-confidence or didn't like themselves, but I didn't realize that most people don't have a good relationship with themselves, and that's the only talent I have. I mean, as I think a lot of people would be like, actually none, but that's the only thing I'm good at. I truly feel like I was sent to the planet to just help other people love themselves. That's that's the most unique thing about me by far.
That's awesome. And how? So tell me how to, because I think it is a struggle.
Yeah, and that's hard because people always ask how do you do it, and I'm like, I think it's more I have to lead by example because I always liked myself, so I don't know how to teach someone because it wasn't a process. But I mean, the amount of time people spend thinking about what other people think of them that's toxic. You can't spend that much. And also, who cares? I just don't respect that many people, so why would I care what they think of me? There's 5 people on the planet who I care what they think of me. And one's Victoria Beckham, so she doesn't even know I'm a person. I really care though. I've had opportunities where I could meet her. I go, I don't think I'm there yet.
Wow.
I don't think I can do it.
Do you consider yourself a sensitive person?
I'm pretty abrasive in real life, and people often say, "Oh, is that a shield?" I don't think it's a shield. Am I sensitive? I think I have a sensitive side. I definitely feel my feelings right away. I'm really good at moving through my feelings immediately. Very comfortable, open crying, which also that's just a New Yorker for 20 years kind of a thing. Wow. We love a cry in the street.
Yes, because there's nowhere else to go. Yeah. You guys have to cry on the subway or in the street.
You'll cry harder if you're in your apartment because it's so small. Uh-oh.
So you love yourself. You love your body too. Have we gotten there?
Yeah, I love my body. I mean, I definitely do not subscribe to body positivity in any way. I feel better when I'm lighter. I also have an autoimmune disorder, so a lot of times when I'm heavier, other things are happening in my body. I'm slowing down. I have to take 3-hour naps in the middle of the day because everything's just shutting down. Jeez. So I don't feel good. I'm also you're petite. I'm 5'3.5". I can't carry that much body weight. It slows me down.
For saying I'm petite.
You are. You're tiny.
Oh, thanks. God. I think my husband was like, well, babe, you're just bigger boned. I think he told me that one time when I was like, I just want to be one of those tiny little
oh my God.
things. And he's like, you're just bigger boned.
You're probably one of the smallest people in Austin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cut that. That's a clip.
I mean that though,
it's
because
promo.
In LA, I mean
Send it just to me and I'm going to watch that over.
She's going to masturbate to it at night. Please
sure
do.
All this hard work. I haven't eaten in months. So thank you so much, Corinne. You just made me feel better.
You look incredible.
Thanks, buddy. That's interesting. And it's almost revolutionary to hear a woman especially be like, I just like myself. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong, But I get the sense that dudes are pretty great with who they are. And it's a little harder for them. That's not entirely true. I think male comedians like themselves a whole lot.
You do? Maybe your husband does, but
I don't know if
none I've met.
But maybe I'm reading the chutzpah to go up and tell it. Like I'm thinking like my early days when I would observe the male comedians and I'd be like, why don't I feel as entitled to speak in a room as they do?
It's the entitlement. And I think
what is that?
That's like applying for jobs that you're not even qualified for. That's that energy.
That's that energy.
It's not self-love though.
What is that then?
I think it's like more like a coddling by society where you feel like you should be. It is entitlement is the proper word, but entitlement to me is not self-love. It's a different thing because
That's interesting.
I'm like really easily tricked by faux confidence.
Oh,
because I
hate faux confidence.
I can't
puke.
imagine.
I can smell it. I see it in comics because I'm so familiar with that energy.
Yeah.
And it's actually frantic, nervous energy that's masquerading as pure confidence. I can, oh God, sorry, but what were you going to say?
No, that's just a
about
mistake
it?
I make with dating male comedians. I'm such a good people reader. Like Christina will always come to me. It's weird because I want to keep saying Christina, but it's Christina with a K.
I know.
Christina will always come to me and be like, is this a good person? Like she'll present people to me and I'll be like, yes. No, like I'll find out within 2 minutes, but then I could very well be dating someone for 2 years and 2 years into it, I find out they're a terrible person. I just don't have that skill when I'm blinded by attraction.
The dick, yeah.
I can't do it.
The dick blinders will fuck you over for like, I think it takes 2 years for the dick haze to wear off. And then you're like, oh, this person is emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
Why am I so turned on by the lack of connection?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it took me like years to figure out I was with totally unemotionally available men.
Really? I mean, I've dated absolute monsters. Like I've dated some of the worst people.
Monsters.
To walk the planet.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, give me an example. Like,
just, I mean,
psychos.
One guy just hated Jews. And I'm a Jew.
Did he know you were Jewish?
Yes.
And he was like, those goddamn Jews. And you're like, it's Fisher. My last name's Fisher. Nah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't find that out till later, but then it started coming out and I was like, I don't think this guy likes Jews. I mean, I guess I could have figured that out by the anti-Semitic like memes he continually shared. My mom pointed it out.
He would send them to you like lols. It's like a Hitler.
Worse, he would tweet them to the public, you know?
Oh my God.
I know. Oops.
Oopsie. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dated a guy one time that lived across the street from me in college, like across the street. But he wouldn't call me for days and days. And I'd be like, what's going on? And then I would go over there and he had rearranged all of his furniture.
Oh,
and
no.
And he'd made collages. And I was like, you're on drugs. Like you're doing meth for days.
That always goes over my head.
Yeah, me too. I was like, he's kind of just playing it cool, I guess.
Yeah, I always like think, what an interesting guy. Like everyone's like, it's cocaine, Corinne.
Yeah.
You're fucking well into your 30s. How do you not know this?
Me too. You're so on drugs. I didn't even notice.
I never know when people are on drugs.
He's so aloof and mysterious. Gosh.
Yeah.
He's probably just writing songs. He's probably just busy.
Oh my God.
I'm such a dick. So you're in your mid 30s and this podcast, Guys We Fucked. I mean, what do you think is the explosive allure of the show? I mean, because I love hearing about these psychos that like, it's already like, yeah, tell me more.
Sure. I mean, I think, people like hearing the dirty details of other people's lives.
So much.
And it's nice when you feel like you're fucking up in your own life to hear someone fucking up worse.
Definitely.
There's a comfort in that.
And do the guys you date, they're obviously aware of who you are now.
Mm-hmm.
And is that, do you ever have to sign an NDA or anything with anybody?
No, I wasn't smart enough to think of that ahead of time. I should have. I mean, now when I start dating someone, we kind of do sit down and have like almost like a publicity meeting. Like, what can we talk about in
Yes,
public?
I imagine.
How far can we, what are we posting? How are we going about this? Because it's just so much pressure because everyone knows about it. And then when you're making part of your income from being a relationship expert, people really do hold it against you when you break up with someone because they ingest that as like, oh, she failed at another relationship. I'm like, to me, I'm actually getting more successful at relationships because I'm learning how to end things that aren't working faster. That to me is not a failure.
That, you know what I've just learned about relationships too? Someone I was, was it Weinschenk? No. Oh, Allie Makovsky. She was in here and she was talking about how she and her boyfriend are in couples therapy. And she's like, and everyone's like, that's terrible. I'm like, no, it's not. You're figuring out how you relate to another this early, like in your 20s. You're going to have an amazing marriage. Like whoever you pick to be your life partner, because you're working through this shit in your youth is fantastic.
I'm just like, how fire must that pussy be that he agreed to do that? I mean, that's the first thing that went through my head. I was like, holy shit.
I know.
I need to speak to her immediately.
Oh, dude. So by the time you pick do you want to get married?
Marriage, I don't really want to, but I'm not like against it. If it was really important to someone that I loved, I would be willing to do it.
Then you could do the Guys We Married podcast.
Yeah. And it will be guys. So I do feel like I was watching the Pamela Anderson documentary and I go, oh no, I see a lot of similarities here. And not the good ones like hot big boobs. It's just like can't decipher if someone's a good person or not before you let them insert themselves to you.
That poor woman, I'm halfway through it.
Okay.
But it looks like Tommy Lee was very much her father, and she was very attracted to this loving, loose cannon of a dude.
The qualities of her father. Yes,
fighting and fucking. That's what her mommy and daddy did. Fighting and fucking.
Yep.
And so that's like a primal wiring thing. You think that's your toxic type?
I do love a bad boy, but I think it's because I had such a stable childhood that I need a little excitement,
stimulation.
Yeah, I need excitement, and it's hard for me to decide like what's excitement and when is it danger. So I don't know.
When is it danger? Like the stalker. So you like the guy because so stalkers come on really strong, right? In the beginning, they're like they love bomb, don't they? Like I love you, you're just the greatest thing. And then when you're like, oh wait a minute, you're kind of crazy, then they're like, fuck you, bitch.
Right.
That's when that happens.
I mean, I have actual stalkers that I don't like. I don't start romances with them, but then people who, I think
that's smart. Yeah.
I've never like someone who's threatened my life. I've never been like, ooh.
You're dangerous. For a lot of us, the start of the new year feels like the right time to schedule doctor's appointments and check in with where you're at health-wise. But what about your reproductive health? That's why Modern Fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label, and you'll get your personalized results within 6 business days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, like your ovarian reserve, aka if you have more or fewer eggs than average for your age, and other important factors that can impact your fertility. I always tell women, if you're nervous or anxious about your fertility, go get it checked out. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/WMMA. That means your test will cost $159, which is a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/WMMA. That's modernfertility.com/WMMA.
Yeah, I also push people away, and that is a mistake because it makes them more interested. I've learned.
Men especially.
Yeah.
I've always said to single girls when they're like, I don't know what to do about this guy, I'm like, ignore him. Fucking ignore him. It's just their dicks can't get hard enough.
Absolutely.
When you're just like, no thanks, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I just come right out.
Ignoring is the key. And everyone's like, I don't want to play games. I was like, I mean, don't call it a game then, call it a strategy and then you're fine. You know?
That's a strategy.
Rebrand. Games. No, this is a fucking strategy. It's like, do you want to, you have to think about relationships as something that you're working on the same as you would your career. And I think people forget about that. Like, you're not just going to walk into someone and be like, stars in your eyes.
So true. And also the secret with show business is the more disdain you show before it, the more it wants you.
Yeah. Oh my God. When I worked in management, we always used to say no is the sexiest word in the business.
Yeah.
And I learned so many amazing skills that are also applicable to relationships from working in management. Like my boss always taught me, don't answer an email immediately, even if you have literally nothing else to do.
Wow.
So even if I'm sitting there, and that's something I've always taught Christina, because Christina, she's a people pleaser. She wants to answer right away. And I go, I'll sit and look at this fucking email for 3 hours. I'm not doing anything. I'm watching repeats of Impractical Jokers, I have nothing on the agenda. And then 3 hours later you respond. And you also, when negotiating, you always have to act offended by whatever money they offer you.
Yeah.
Act offended.
Yeah.
$1 million? Ugh, who do you think I am?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to learn that lesson. So I knew that instinctually with love. And I had to learn that with business. Yeah, I'd be like, whatever, fuck face. And they're like, I think I want to marry him. I'm like, I know, everyone does. But not with business. I was too eager, I think, in the beginning.
Yeah, everyone is, because we're working so hard. How can you not be? But you have to act like you don't care. I remember I dated my first boyfriend had this don't care attitude, and he was
so sexy.
Wealthy and handsome, and one day he came home and I was already pursuing comedy, and he's like, guess who I just randomly had dinner with? And I was like, who? And he was like, Lorne Michaels. And I was like, I honestly hope you die. Like, this is great. Lorne, who just accidentally has a meal with Lorne Michaels.
Ugh, fuck right off.
Oh God.
So what do you recommend women do for dating advice? Like, how do you get a man to fall in love with you?
I think ignoring is key.
So like, let's say he texts you, or I guess sorry, let's back that up. Because I know I haven't been single since 2005. So I know in today's world, a DM is like an introductory,
Absolutely.
Not even that. Watching somebody's stories is too forward, right?
Well, I think women read a little too, from what I've heard from male relationship experts, one of my favorites is Jared Freed. Women are reading a little too much into the watching the Instagram story thing, because guys are like on the toilet just like going through it, I don't know if I can say it, but we saw Stephen Jenkins going through his Instagram stories one time, just like mindlessly, because we were like always excited when Stephen Jenkins would like look at our Instagram stories from Third Eye Blind, you guys, if I'm like aging myself. And then I was like, oh, I think he's just like on a tour bus and like they're just going. Like, it's not like he's like, what are Corinne and Christina from Guys We Fucked Up to? I can't get enough of this.
Yeah,
but it was exciting.
But there's like tiers now. So how does a guy even get to know you now? Like, does he slide into your DMs, as the kids say?
I don't mind to slide into the DMs at all, or like just I think that's better than liking like 87 photos in a row, which is another approach. That to me feels scary,
psychotic. Yeah,
yeah. Complimenting someone's work is wonderful. I really like that one. That's not one that happens a lot,
You're really funny. Yeah. So let's say he texts you, which is in today's world equivalent to a phone call. Somebody texting you is like in your face, right?
Yeah.
Whereas does an actual phone call ever happen anymore? Very rare, right? In courtship.
When my dad died. Oops.
Yeah. But I'm saying from like courtship.
Oh, yeah,
no, it's texting.
Yeah.
So how long should a girl wait before she texts the guy back that they're in the courtship phase?
It depends what the dynamic is. You also can't be predictable, because once you start like the strategic waiting, if you always wait an hour, if you always wait 15 minutes, that becomes predictable as well. So you just have to continuously surprise someone. So I think sometimes you can answer immediately, sometimes wait 5 hours, sometimes wait 15 minutes. It depends. If you're in the midst of a conversation, though, I would say like don't like wait 15 minutes between texts. That just feels like it's ruining the flow.
Yeah. Do you send titty pics? How do you feel about sending?
There's nudes everywhere of me. Yeah.
How soon into the courtship do you send your tits or your vag? Do you send your vag?
Yeah, I feel like it's not like a photogenic body part for the most part.
No.
So I don't mind. The key to me is just break up the body parts. So I don't do full body, because that can end up online. No one's gonna like have just a picture of your pussy or a picture of like your right tit or your left tit. You'd have to piece those together. Right. So that's my key. That's why I kind of just like send them out willy-nilly. I don't give a shit.
You do one breast at a time, or
I've done both, but I think it's just keeping your face out of it for me.
Keep your face out of it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
For fucking sure.
Yeah.
And then
you'd be surprised because people you know, I feel like for a 37-year-old woman, I spend way too much time around adult men who I'm not having sex with. And it's really like,
you look very good. You don't look 37.
thank you. It's really like, I was like, I got to 37 and I was like, this isn't fucking old. Like
It's
I'm in better
not.
shape now than I was when I was 27.
Yeah, it's not. It's just
weird.
It's societal.
Yeah.
And so do you find that, so 37 is an interesting age because you've got the first round of people who want to get married and have children.
Sure.
They know from a very young age, this is it. My college sweetheart, we're getting married, we're having kids. So that takes out this chunk of men. The men who do want to get married and have kids generally do it fairly young. I don't know, at least in my generation. I don't know what it looks like now. And then you've got the second round of dudes that exist after the first round, you know, and then, okay, those guys get married by 28 or whatever. And then the divorces come around your age. So what's the pool of men look like at 37 years old?
I mean, my last relationship was with someone drastically younger, 12 years younger than me. And that was the first time I had tried dating someone younger. And I was like, well, the older hasn't worked, so let me try this.
And
I really liked the day-to-day experience of it. You know, his dick worked, which that's
nice.
No one likes to talk about that, but that's a big problem at this age.
Really?
Like
37 even?
35, I think, is when it starts where like the dick isn't just hard whenever.
Wow.
You know, whenever necessary. Obviously, there are some people who it is for, but like I think this is the age when you start needing like some assistance, or it becomes like a thing where I have to like rub your back or something. Things that aren't happening.
So annoying.
Yeah. And so that was nice. And he was just fun. He had energy. He wasn't
Yeah.
curmudgeon-y. Like we would eat candy and play video games, which is like for me, what I wanted to do. I know you don't like to play video games.
Dries my pussy faster than anything else.
I'm in arcade video games, not like Pac-Man, not
sames, yeah,
That's
okay.
what I like. So
Okay.
we would go to arcades. Yes, no, I also don't like
okay.
sitting in bed playing
Ooh, the
video
VR
games,
thing.
arcade games. Yeah.
God, I'm gay. Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
It's so lame.
It's really, it's just
so
like
gay.
we get it. You've only
I'm
had
in
sex a couple
war.
times.
Yeah. Okay. Fighting the enemy.
Yeah, and then they're like talking to like 6-year-olds.
The microphone. Yeah. Oh,
It's so weird.
Gross. Okay, sorry. So you like the day-to-dayness. His schmeckle was hard. I agree. Now, Rob Eiler and I came to the conclusion that wouldn't it be neat to take like a 40-something, maybe even a mid-50s low T guy. Sarah Weinschenk and I love that. I like a low T 50-something-year-old guy who's just like a great companion.
That's so funny.
Maybe into yoga. But take that brain and then put that into like the hard body 25-year-old.
Yeah, that
would
could
be
work.
great.
I need a bit of an abrasive, like more traditional, like guy, just because I'm so masculine.
Yes.
That I need someone to out masculine me, and it's
Ooh,
really
yeah.
hard. That's why I end up dating like Republicans from Ohio.
Yeah.
Because that's, I don't know, I guess the hate in their heart like makes them like more manly.
So
I don't know.
hot.
I don't know what's happening. But yeah.
Yeah.
I've dated a lot of guys from Ohio.
You might need a cowboy.
Yeah. Oh, that could work for me. I would be very into that.
So what was the deal breaker with the young guy at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, that one was, I feel like one of the relationships where I'm going to blame myself a little bit more. He was the first person I dated after my dad passed away. And I thought it was going to be okay. And then a spell of grief that was so intense came over me where I was like in a bed for 60 days straight. And I think an older guy would have understood that more, but it's hard to explain to your, at the time, 24-year-old boyfriend, like that you've had 60 bad days in a row because he just felt so unloved. And it actually reminded me a lot of what Tommy Lee talks about in the Pamela documentary, because she's a new mom. She's so busy. She's overwhelmed with new motherhood. And he's like, I kicked her because Tommy needed love. And I'm like, oh my God, awful, not excusable, crazy. But it really reminded me of like, that's what it was like dating a 24-year-old. He didn't understand that sometimes real life takes precedence over like your feelings specifically. And I also misread being emotional as emotional intelligence, because younger guys like, oh, they're not afraid showing their feelings, but sometimes emotional intelligence is not just showing your feelings any fucking time a feeling passes through you.
Like shutting up is also a very good middle-aged quality to have.
Yeah.
Knowing when not to say something is just as important, I think.
Yeah.
To say, especially in a relationship.
Yeah, and knowing the right level at which to react to something. That was an issue that we talked about numerous times, like how, and he's a comedian. I want to like talk. I really have mostly very positive things to say about him. But I think that was, and it's just specifically like an age criticism, but it's like knowing the right level to react to something. Like everything is not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Like if you like break your toy or whatever, that's not, things don't need to get thrown across the room.
Yeah, I remember that in my 20s, how everything seemed so colossal because it's the first time you've ever probably gone through that.
Sure. And I tried to be like empathetic to that. I was like, you've lived through this. Remember what it was like. And so I gave him a lot more leeway than I would have given to a boyfriend of a different age. But I just didn't have that extra capacity to give at that time.
No, God, why would you? I mean, God, too much.
It was too much.
Too much. Wow. So who are we dating now? What's going on? How's that?
I had someone confess their undying love to me, which does happen every couple years, which I think is worth it. So like for every death, I'll get a death threat every couple years, but then I'll also get someone confessing their undying love. And I'm happy with that. I think I love an extreme.
Yeah,
so
that is very extreme. So how does that make you feel to be that? That's very extreme. And is it somebody that you had known intimately or just known as a friend, or what level were you guys at before that?
I knew it was a person who existed.
Okay.
That's all I knew.
Okay.
And then, and then he was like, he basically like confessed like right before Christmas that I was like the most incredible woman he's ever met. And I was like, I don't even know what your voice sounds like. And I said these things too. I'm very blunt.
Yeah.
But I also need to do it because I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that I was coming in like I'm interested, but I have no idea how I feel about you because I don't know you. And you've like been apparently studying me for the greater part of a decade, which is like amazing. And like part of the attraction of that is like, oh, finally someone who gets it. How awesome I am, you know? That was my initial reaction.
Yeah.
Because people will often say like, it's narcissism liking someone because they like you. And I ran this by my therapist and she's like, no, it's much smarter to like someone because they like you rather than do what most people do, which is chase after people who have said very explicitly, I am not interested in you.
I would love, but the one thing I do like I do agree 100%. Like you should be obsessed with the person. Like I'm obsessed with my husband. I'm obsessed with. But it's like the weird stuff, like even how he bites his like hangnail. I'm like, yeah, like it's just
after all this time, you still love it?
Of course,
amazing.
Like I'm obsessed with just his mannerisms and his weird ways that normal people don't know about.
Sure.
But do you ever feel weird, like? Because that sounds to me like a fan liking you. Because I know that like people listen to this show and they do know you to a large degree.
Sure.
But I don't know. Like, do you want to?
No,
it's a weird line.
I would never. I think there is like a power dynamic that feels inappropriate with dating a fan, quite honestly, because I don't want someone like I want someone to adore me, but I don't want someone to hold me on a pedestal. And I think there's a difference between that. And so this person, the way he came at it, I felt like he adored me for the reasons that I would want to be adored.
That you approve of?
Yeah. So it felt,
I like that.
And it felt. And also he has made a name for himself in his occupation. So it felt like this is fucked up. It felt like his like was more meaningful because he knows how to do what I do, you know?
Yes.
So then
absolutely.
it's not a fan. Then it's not a fan because you are also an expert at the thing that I'm an expert in, or not an. I mean,
so
working towards. Expert.
Will you in turn do research on him? Will you listen to whatever he's done and go back into his vaults if you can?
I used to get really obsessed with doing that.
Yeah.
And I crafted a theory that if you go through anyone's, if you go through, at the time it was like Tumblr. If you read anyone's complete Tumblr, there's no chance that you could still like them.
Yeah.
And I've made that mistake so many times. So I do listen to his like current work, but I didn't go back and do a ton of archival. I did a little bit.
Yeah. Because I think you're right that there's something to, like, I don't even know how you can present yourself in the dating world with like Instagram or whatever dating apps and fucking million things that you're on TikTok. Like, I would look like a lunatic on all these mediums. Like, I wouldn't know how to even begin.
Yeah.
It's so daunting. You're right, because anybody can look like shit on these apps. Like,
yeah, no, I read my
crazy.
tweets and I go,
Oh my
I
God.
wouldn't. No one likes me more than me, and I don't like me right now. Like, who wants to read this garbage? It's just a person having a meltdown. Like, we're not supposed to see all those thoughts.
Oh, stop! I'm embarrassed just thinking about it.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How many stupid things I've said and done over 20 years. Like,
and with podcasting, I don't think people understand how hard it is to fill this much time every week unscripted. I go, guys, sometimes I just black out and my mouth is moving and I'm just trying. I'm trying. I don't know.
I know. Do you ever have it where your friends listen to your shows?
Yes.
And then they text you and they're like, dude, I love sandwiches too. And you're like, I recorded that. I don't know how, I don't even remember what the fuck I said on that show.
Right. Yeah. Or you're being like a bit of a heightened version of yourself. And then you're like, friends and family are texting you as if they don't know the real you for 20, 30 years.
I know.
And I'm like, and my own mom sometimes does that. I go, Mom, I mean, there's a little performance going on here, you know?
A lot of performance.
I'm playing the role of the cold-hearted bitch. I think you should know there's a little more complexity here, you know? It's just for no one wants to listen to like an even-keeled person talk about their week. That's
so boring. I know. So how long before you bang dudes now? Like, what's the customary, like, what's the rule? Because I was always led to believe like you should try to string it out as long as you can with a dude.
That is, I mean, I've never engaged in such a tactic, but it is probably the correct one, you know? I also need to know, because there's plenty of people that I've liked very much, but they're not good in bed and they immediately get
Isn't that the worst?
kicked to the curb. Yeah.
It's so disappointing when you're really into a dude and then you see what he's working with and you're like, oh my God.
I would just feel what he's working with. You just go, this is, I mean, because I'm like, yeah, I don't, it's not.
Such a bummer.
It's not. And for a while, there was a couple years when all I cared about was my boyfriends being hot, because I was like, I got everything else handled. And I like someone who can drive, because I've forgotten how to do that at this point. So yeah, that's it.
Because you can't make up for the sex. Like, if someone, if you're not compatible there, it's never gonna work. You can't.
And I don't have a void for like male companionship. I have so many male friends. Yeah, too many, really. It's really jaded me, because I always say that now I like know how the sausage is made, so I know too much about how men think about relationships.
Oh my God!
And it's really I want to get that Men in Black thing.
Tell me, what's the worst? What's the most depressing thing you've learned?
I mean, I kind of knew, but it just really is a little bit more like something to check off on a list rather than this romantic notion of like meeting the one. It's kind of like, oh, I did this, I got this in order, my bank account's like this, now I'll look up and kind of whoever's in the vicinity will work. It'll work itself out.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't. And the way a lot of men I know talk about their relationships, it is more like, does she fit into this really small space that I left for a woman? Yeah. And the qualities I want to be appreciated for are not the qualities men are looking for. They're looking for like nurturing and make me feel better about myself. I can do that one. I give great pep talks, but I don't have like great bedside manner, you know?
Yeah. They want nurturing. They want mommy kind of, yeah?
Yeah, that's not who I am. I'm like, come together and we can conquer the world. That's who I am.
They want mommy, but they don't want mommy because they hate mommy. You know what I mean? It's very fucking complicated.
Yeah.
It's like they want you to be nurturing, but not too nurturing. A force to be reckoned with, but not too much of a force to be. It's like a dance, right? It's a ridiculous fucking.
Yeah, and like just I can't over support it. I can't like support if you're doing your art that's bad. I can't be like, that was great.
I could never date a comedian I didn't find funny. I mean, thankfully the first one I dated I married.
Yeah,
but I could never date like I didn't really think was talented.
Yeah,
it's got to be fucking tough. Where you're like,
yeah, it is. Yeah, I wish I could say I didn't, but I've done it. Yeah, well, it's a lot of times the hot ones aren't the funny ones because they never needed to be funny because they're hot. You know, so it didn't work out.
No.
But I mean, for me, is if my boyfriend's not funny, the second best thing is that they just think I'm really funny, but they actually think I'm funny.
Yes.
That to me is like, I can do that. That's honorable mention. But
now I hear a lot of women, successful women, complain that it's hard to find a man, and a lot of them are like, I'm too successful, I'm intimidating, or I'm too funny, I'm intimidating. Sure. What do you think of that? I
think it's hard to find maybe a quality man. It's not hard to find a man. It's hard to find a man who I think is going to appreciate you for probably the things you want to be appreciated for. I think that's what it is, because the men with the same like motivation and work level or work ethic, I think they're busy and they just want someone who can follow them around and like look hot
for sure
and like create the family. I think what you and
for
Tom
sure.
have is super unique.
Yeah, I think it worked because we met so young,
right?
And had we not built this empire together, I think that's a different dynamic. When you meet somebody later in life, when you're both established independently,
sure.
Then yeah, but because we established ourselves in line, it was like, okay, well now let's just negotiate as we go.
And you grew in the same direction,
Whew,
thankfully.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, if one of us, like if I hadn't done anything with my life, I would be so depressed and resentful. I'm like, thank God comedy worked out.
Yeah, it really worked out.
So fucking pissed. But yeah, I imagine if I were fully grown adult and then I just want a dude to like support me. So is that what you're kind of, I imagine now, because you're 37, you're this successful podcaster, you're a comedian, you're good looking, you're brilliant, you're all these things. You're going to have to kind of find a guy who will make you his priority, no? Like kind of support you.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like people are always are like, why do you always date losers, Corinne? But I think it's because I need someone who's going to treat me as their full-time job. So if they actually have a job, we're in a pickle,
Yeah, it's tough.
Unemployed works for me.
Yeah. Or just a guy who's willing to follow you around, so to speak.
Oh, I like it. Because I was actually thinking of doing a little self-reflecting recently, and I was like, all the reasons I criticize men for how they date, I'm just jealous because I want to date the same way. I just want a hot person to follow me around quietly. That's just sitting in the back of my show clapping. Like, that sounds great.
Great job, sweetie. You're the best.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, actually, that sounds incredible. I can't even be mad at them any longer.
I know. And and so in the mom world, there are stay-at-home dads that I've met now.
The dream. Cyndi Lauper has a stay-at-home.
She does?
I mean, he's an actor, but he's a stay-at-home dad. Yeah.
So like,
the dream.
It's happening. And that's Gen X. I'm Gen X. So it's happening in my generation. By the time like you guys are having your families, dude, for sure, there's going to be a crop of guys that are like, yeah, I don't want to work. It sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly, working is now that I stay home with our kids a lot more, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go on the road. I want to stay home. It's much better.
Oh, really? Oh, that's if I found someone who
no thanks
could cook well and like they don't even have to clean, we can hire someone to do that. I just like want someone who can cook well and like take really good care of my dog, take them on like rambunctious park adventures, and then I come home. That would work well for me.
But here's the deal, man. Okay, so here's the deal, man. Would you still want to F that guy at the end of the day?
That's a great question.
Because now hold on, because you like masculine energy. That's beta energy. Not that there's anything wrong with beta male energy, but that's a different type of guy.
Yeah. So, I think if you could build stuff at the house, like if I came home and there was like a shelf going, I would like that because I don't have that skill. I can't do that.
Or like he's been out hunting and he shot an elk for dinner or
but that would make me sad, but
or like whatever. Like maybe he could put those alpha things to use. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think as long as he was motivated and inspired in some way, it doesn't really matter to me if it's something that I'm interested or that I appreciate. I would just appreciate that he was motivated and interested and just be interested in life. I don't think that's a lot to ask.
Being curious is so important in life. I don't know if you watch The Crown.
I don't, but I mean, I'm familiar with.
Oh my God, there is this brutal fucking scene. Spoiler alert. Queen Elizabeth. I know, I always say it too late. It was with Prince Andrew for 40 years. Okay. So in this one fucking episode, he makes friends with this woman who's younger than him. They go carriage riding together, horse carriage riding. They don't fuck because he's old as shit. but he has an intellectual thing with this younger woman. And he says to the queen, I like her because basically you're not intellectually curious about anything. Like you're fucking boring and she's interesting. Let me have this as a friendship. And she was hurt by it, but obviously she let it happen because they've been together for so long. But gosh, I don't think there's anything that could wound me more. Like what would hurt my feelings more? Like I'm fucking this other woman, or I'm really intellectually satisfied with this other woman.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Right.
Yeah, fucking another one. That's funny. That's not a big deal. Yeah. I really don't think it is a big deal. Yeah. I mean, just tell me. But that's like also when you have them tell you, that takes the fun out of it, you know? So I'm like, okay.
When they have them too, are you okay with an open relationship?
I kind of go subscribe to the Dan Savage rule, where I think you have to be monogamous for like several years before you do that. I get so many emails, and me and Christina get so many emails on guys we fuck from, like, I'm 22. I've been dating this guy for 2.5 months and he wants to be poly. I go, he wants to fuck somebody else and trick you into it being some kind of progressive relationship structure, you dumb bitch. Like, please.
We were just talking about that with Rob Eiler. It's brainwashing, and they try to convince the young girl that like you're just like so mono.
Yeah.
He's like, you're into monogamy. You're so lame.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you be more progressive?
Right.
And fuck. I was like, gross.
No one's attracted to the same person forever. I go, bro, we've been dating since December. It's February. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you should still be.
Oh my God.
Fired up. But even, would you consider being poly? Could you do it?
No, poly, no.
Never.
Oh my God, no, poly. I it's so hard for me to even find one person I like.
Let alone a pod.
No.
2 or 3 other dicks.
Yeah, everyone's like,
they're like,
have you had a threesome? I go, how would I even find 2 people who I can stand? What are you talking about?
I know.
It's not the sex part that bothers me. It's just the likability. Someone would annoy me.
I agree. I mean, this is why I was a serial monogamist. I like monogamy. I don't like dating. There are so few men who I would want to ejaculate inside of me. Truly. There are few people I even want to have dinner with, let alone let you jizz inside of me.
Yep.
It's so hard.
Yeah, the jizz I'm a little looser on than you, I think.
Sure.
But
Okay. I'm from the 90s. We had AIDS. AIDS was a big deal.
yeah, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Oh, it was terrifying. They terrified us about that AIDS. So
yeah. Got a lot of press.
Are you not afraid of STDs? Does that concern you? STIs, I think now they're called.
It probably should, but no.
Wow.
I'm on the birth control pill, and then I go free ride. Yeah.
That's amazing. But I feel like your generation's getting away with it. Because what's the worst?
I just take a look at the dick and I go, looks good to me.
Spit shine that bitch up. Let you in.
I just fuck with the lights on. That's my condom.
Yeah. Because really, let's say herpes, big whoop, you take some Valtrex, it clears up. You're not going to die from, there's nothing you're going to die from anymore. So I think that's pretty rad. You guys got kind of a cool thing going.
Yeah.
Fuck. Now, when you go out on a date with somebody, what kind of date do we go on these days?
I really very rarely go on dates. I also very rarely go out on dates with people that I don't already know. Like I've gone on maybe like 3 or 4 dates in my entire life with someone who I didn't previously know pretty well. So I mean, just usually like bar, arcade, like barcade is my favorite. Barcade is the best.
That's fantastic.
I think that's a great first date. I really enjoy it. But it has to be something where you're talking, but preferably not a meal, because that's not fun for me. I like to really get into my food. I don't want to like fake eat in front of you. That's not cool.
I know sometimes I like to eat alone just so I can really enjoy myself.
After spots, taking off my clothes, like sitting on my couch with just takeout is like, there's nothing more blissful.
It's so good.
It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah. I even like drinking alone. I like to sit there and just get weird and listen to Bauhaus in the dark and not be judged and not make chit chat. Yeah.
It's so nice. It's so peaceful. I just give a little to my dog. I mean, not alcohol, but a piece of popcorn or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
You don't drink alcohol? Are you clean?
No, I drink lots of alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Too much, some would say.
Yeah.
Oops.
What's a deal breaker for you?
Oh God. I mean, I think a list of
obviously not anti-Semitism for a while. You were like, that's fine. I'm down with your
because you're only hurting me, really. No.
What's an instant like?
How did the Holocaust affect me? I think is what we're talking about right now. Clip it. What's a deal? I mean, so much deal. One of my big deal breakers is like a mama's boy. I can't handle a mama's boy.
Don't you know it?
That's a really, really tough one for me.
Well, because you're never going to be number one on the call sheet.
Yes,
You're
I remember.
Never going to be number one.
In high school, I asked a man if your house was on fire and me and your mom were inside, who would you save first? And he didn't even miss a beat. He goes, my mom. Like this was someone who was like very in love with me.
Wow.
And I go, I mean, can I like hold on to her leg and you pull it out at once or something? And he goes, it's my mom. And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Wow.
I want someone to be willing to die for me within the first 3 dates. Like crazy.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, that's not
healthy.
That's not a healthy
I
one.
know. That's a level I need though.
But what's interesting is when you get married and have kids though, is that your husband becomes the less, you're just like, I don't give a fuck. I want to save these kids. Like if everybody's in a boat, I'm saving the children. Like,
yeah.
Tom can drown. I don't give a fuck about Tom anymore. Like those babies are priority. It's kind of weird.
I mean, my dog's already a priority for my boyfriend. Like I had a boyfriend who used to get in fights with my dog. He's 17 pounds. And she's like, you're giving him so much attention. I go, yeah, he's cooler.
He's the best. Dogs are soul animals. They're the best.
Yeah. I told my dog I was leaving for the road yesterday and he just gently leaned his head on my chest. And I was like, are you kidding me right now?
The fucking best.
This is angelic.
Angelic, yeah. Could you imagine? What do you think about cat guys?
Well, okay. So
I knew she'd have an opinion because there's such a lane. There's a lane.
I would say usually no, but I know a couple. So
just no.
Toby from Are You Garbage is a cat guy, and I remember talking to him at length for the first time a couple years ago. I think it might have actually been here at Moon Tower a couple years ago, and I was like, this guy is so interesting and a great conversationalist, and I really, really like him. And then he was showing me a picture of his cat, and I was like panicked. But then I was like, just breathe through it. You can handle this cat revelation. And then once like the feeling passed, I was like, okay, we've now met a cat guy who is a spectacular person.
Okay.
And so I feel like I'm going to credit him with changing my opinion on cat guys.
So what do you, because I have my theory on cat guys. What's your feeling on cat guys generally?
Like how they navigate themselves throughout the world?
Like
weekly?
Why are they not an ideal partner for a woman, would you say?
Usually a little strange and then a little sub. Yeah. Because I mean, you're getting, if you have a cat,
that's the right word.
You're getting bossed around by your cat.
Yeah.
Cats rule the area that they live in.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
It's sub energy. And here's the thing though. I don't hate it. If I were into
Wait, is Tom a cat guy? Is this right?
No.
Oh, I thought I was like, am I being set up here?
Are
Fuck.
you crazy?
Okay.
My husband is steaks and BJs all day.
That's what I thought.
He kicks it with Joe Rogan, dude.
That's what I thought.
No.
I was like, fuck, is this a setup? Okay.
Fucking never. My
Okay.
husband was out like playing basketball with strangers today in the park. Like he's not
hardcore.
Yeah, he's so like he drives race cars for fun and
nice.
Helicopter pilot.
Okay, cool.
He's a crazy person. But yeah, I knew a tremendous cat guy. Actually, he was very much sub energy. It's interesting you say that because his wife was very much a ball buster, and she was a dom in that regard. And I think that's just like that's who gets with that guy is a woman that just wants to overpower and just call the shots. And it made his dick so hard. He just loved her.
Yeah,
she was a horrible person, but really just. But yeah, it made his dick hard. And the nice girls, he wouldn't even see the nice girls. He liked the bad, the meanies.
Oh yeah, I mean
that bums me out for him.
Yeah, I mean people like that are attracted to me, but I think I'm.
You're saying cat guys are attracted to you? They think you're
I've dated a cat guy before. I think I am. I think I'm nicer behind closed doors than in front of closed doors. In open doors, how would you say that? Yeah,
of course. Yeah, well, of course. This is your,
yeah.
You're letting your dick hang out here today.
Exactly, and you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
Okay, let's get down to some real important topics. We've got some follow-up voicemails from the audience. This is all the hot topics in my world. Yeah, the mom world. And by the way, Corinne, thank you so much for, I love having like single people on Where My Mom's At, just to remind the moms listening of what life was like. Remember when you had a time, like you were just dating and you brunched and you slept in. Like I love getting reminded of a different time in my life. It's exciting. So thank you for
got me. You got
in.
Chelsea Handler all week on the Daily Show. Really rubbing it in everyone's faces.
I love it.
I love it too.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So let's hear what the moms are talking about in my universe.
Hey, Jeans. I have a vag dryer for y'all. Now, tell you what, I like to do caricature voices like Hank Hill and Juan Bandito over here. Oh my God, this guy over here. But the thing is, my wife's vag gets dry as hell when I do the Jeffrey Dahmer voice when I'm trying to take pictures of her and see her butt cheek. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Take care. I'm coming up in May.
What do you think?
Okay, doing voices is one of my all-time least favorite qualities in a person. It drives me bananas.
Really?
I can't with voices.
Drives your pussy up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I cannot. Oh.
Worse than a cat
It's
guy.
bad when women do it, but what if a man did it? Absolutely not.
I think.
No.
See, I don't mind. Hold on. Can you fix this for me? I've got a limp dick. It's doing its own. Am I retarded? Oh yeah, I'm retarded.
God, this is aspirational. I just need someone to be like, can you come in and fix my microphone?
Thirsty. Perfect. Thanks, mommy.
Do you call all your employees mommy?
Yeah. Amongst other things, Chattels, Chad,
Mommies.
Native, Baby Zolo in the booth. They're all like,
hey, Baby Zolo.
our babies, our genes. What were we talking about? Oh,
The
voices. So like, but it depends on the context of it. Like, you know what I mean? Is it like
Never okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because Tom would never do a voice unless it's like we're doing YMH stuff together, and he's like, "Here, you're into uncircumcised men." Like we'll do, like we'll, like I was talking about something today, and I was like, "You bet I'm coming up in May." Like we'll do those to each other, but not accenty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that I think was just racist, but.
Oh, right. Like, he's like, I do the Indian guy from, yeah, it's all been canceled. Yeah, Apu, didn't they like erase Apu from the.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think what would definitely dry my puss is like the guy that, okay, and this is probably why you and I both like dating comedians, because as a professional joke teller and joke writer, it's sometimes very difficult to talk to people that aren't.
Oh, I on the way here, even the interactions I had to have, like renting the car and at the airport, I was like, I know in everyday life, this is like they're the life of the party, but it was like physically painful for me to take in the jokes that they were serving. Yeah. Sometimes I'll try to like do bits in line at Dwayne Reed just so like they can't do them to me. And they like them. They're very receptive to them at Dwayne Reed. Honestly, I would write some of my best material there. Because I never want to like be angry at someone for trying to tell a joke, because it's beautiful and humor is the best part of life. But yeah, it's so bad.
It's
sometimes
bad because they're street jokes, and I think what people don't understand, like when people find out you're a comedian, they go, "Tell me a joke." You're like, but it's not like Shecky Green back in like the olden days. They're not; those are street jokes. Where you're like, "What did the blondes say to the Jew?" Where you're like, that's a different time. Of joke telling.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't go into a bit in the back of this Uber because like it's not gonna, no one's gonna like. I'm not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. We're all gonna have an awkward silence after.
See, that's what I worry about Tom. Like when he dies, he'll die probably before me because he's way more stressed out, and most of the time men do.
Yeah.
Like if I date again or whatever, like I can't date a non-comedian, right? Because then I have to listen to their dumb sense of humor.
Well, unless you just go all the way in the other direction, and like you have something at that point in your life that's like maybe could be filled that Tom didn't fill. I don't know.
It's going to be tough.
I know, he sounds great.
It's perfect. Everybody, Tom's most perfect. All right, let's do another follow-up. I'm perfect too. We're both perfect people. Yeah. I'm like Corinne, I got self-love.
Hey, Mommy, this is Brienne from Canada, and I have a couple of vag dryers for you.
Thanks,
First
pal.
one is when you're dating and you're over at a new guy's place. You go to use his washroom, and there's either piss droplets or reminiscences of shit stains in his toilet bowl. I'm running out of there immediately. And then my second one is
so bad.
when a man is mansplaining something to you, but he's actually wrong about whatever that topic is. So he's not only a piece of shit, but also an idiot. Total badge dryer, but hey, it gives me a good laugh. Anyways, love you, jeans. Keep them high and tight. Bye.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I know you've got a lot to say on the dirty bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, reveal.
Oh, I've got one.
I'm not really a clean person.
Neither am I.
My body is clean, but my apartment, that's actually one of the so the two biggest critiques I get from men are I don't talk enough. Crazy. I was like,
what?
I thought that would be main selling point.
Yeah. I thought they're always like, bitch, just shut up and suck my dick.
I know. And I was like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because we talk for a living.
Yeah,
I don't want to come home and tell you about my day.
No.
Listen to my podcast. I summed it up for you real nice.
Samesies. Tom and I can't be quiet enough together.
Oh, I love.
We just sit there
and that's so intimate. I like it.
Just watch a movie. So hold on. What's the most disgusting thing you do? Because that's funny. What's an interesting theme of the female comedians that have been on my show?
Yeah,
we're all fucking disgusting.
We're nasty girls. Yeah.
So
I smelled all the underwear I put in my suitcase before I packed. You know,
you like to smell. Do you like the?
No, because I don't know if it was clean or not. And then you're like, if it's not like a secretions week. How gross are we going to get? Yeah. And I can't see it. I got to go, is that, I was like, does this smell, So that, and then, I try to keep like my bathroom and my kitchen clean because those are like the important parts. But I have clothes just piles absolutely everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so like disgusting. I don't, what's the most disgusting thing? I go like months without changing my sheets. Like fucking, like a guy freshman year in college. Months. My dog threw up on my sheets and I put a pillow over it.
Corinne, that's so gross.
I know. You asked for the grossest thing, and I gave it to you. I delivered.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
You're so welcome.
Okay, I'll share you mine. The boys get upset when I talk about how if I have a cold or my nose is running, I will blow my nose into my shirt or my hand. Wait,
like I do hand in the shower, but you're doing it outside of the shower.
Don't care. Like I'm with my kids, I'm like, and I just mush it. Oh, just like whatever, wipe it on my shirt.
Have you heard the New York man one where I never saw this until I moved to New York City, where you just hold one nostril and shoots out?
Yep. I won't. Tom does that one in the shower. Wow. I don't like that one. I had someone say Ellie Makovsky picks her nose and eats it. That's probably the gnarliest that I've heard. I love
that
she
just said that's what I like.
She owns it.
She's like, I'm in a relationship. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Well, you know who else admitted to that though? Bert Kreischer.
Bert eats his boogers?
Yeah.
Bert eats them.
I watched this on the internet. This isn't even something he said to me, with privately or anything. That would be weird if he just texted me, hey girl.
He eats them?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting though. There was a study done that it does help with your immunity. I don't think that's the reason he's doing it.
I don't believe that one fucking bit.
I don't think that's the reason he's doing it. But yeah.
It's not for health. He does nothing for health reasons. That is so fucking gross.
That's so, because I had a crush on Bert for a while, and that might have like I like a pretty open one. And then I'm like, hey, nice, like saying hi to his like wife and kids. Hey guys.
Yeah. No. You don't want that. You don't want that fucking mess.
No, it wasn't like an actual. It wasn't the kind of crush where you want to date the person. It was just like a celeb comic
like
crush.
A sweet. Yeah. He's a sweet bear.
Yeah.
You know what turns me off immensely, and I just in general is like a squatty potty.
Oh yes,
like seeing.
Good call. Put that in. Hide that.
Hide your shit stool.
Yeah, it's like we know you poop in here, but I don't want to see things like. I don't even like when people have butt wipes out. I don't like that.
You know what's interesting is I don't like seeing the wipes either.
Yeah, I don't want to think about you shitting.
Yeah,
when I'm about to fuck.
Yeah. Can I tell you one of the biggest vag dryers I had? I dated a guy who worked in animation. And we went back to his house, and I was like, I'm going to fuck this guy. Today's the day I'm going to fuck you, right?
Yeah.
And I go into his bathroom, and he's got the figurines on the toilet.
Oh.
And then in his bedroom, I peek in there, and there's like a cutout life-size Chewbacca over the bed. Yeah, and it was like, and I know he's an animator, but I was like, this is too childish. Like
I work at I own a collectibles store, and even that's too
You do?
collectible for me. Yeah, it was my dad's business, and I took it over from him when he passed away. Yeah, it's a baseball card. It's a sports card and collectibles store.
Would you ever date any of the men that come in there?
There's a lot of hot dads that come in because it's in Westchester. So yeah, I mean, some of them are like aesthetically, I don't know enough about their personalities. Wow. But yeah. Every now and then, like a Legion of Skanks fan will, come in half drunk and just, buy something for $5 and then chat with me.
Oh, you actually work like you'll.
Oh, I try to work there once a week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah, I really like being there, and I like something that's not entertainment business related.
Yeah, it's smart.
I feel it's very like calming.
Smart.
I used to be a receptionist at a spa. That's the last job I had before I went full-time pro comedy, and it was I like miss it.
Yeah.
It was nice being around people who just cared about other things.
I know what you mean. I feel that way living in Texas is that there's not a lot of show business here. So these people really care about like book club and we're all going out for drinks and queso on Friday. You want to come? And like, I love that so much.
Yeah.
The just rootedness of it.
Yeah.
And the best day job I ever had was the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles. It was my last day job. And I answered phones and I, would work in the gift shop and like have girls buy their badges for their thing. Yeah.
I was a lifelong. I completed the whole program.
You did?
My mom was the troop leader. Yeah.
Oh,
Shout
so
out
good.
Troop 381.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good experience. Okay. We'll do another voicemail and then Miss Corinne's got to go. She's got stuff to do.
I have bats to feed with
Hey,
water.
Mommy, I thought I would share with you one of my number one wiener shrinkers. It absolutely shrivels my dong when a grown woman at a relatively nice restaurant asks the server a bunch of dumbass questions, and then I realize it's because she has the eating habits of a 5-year-old. If you order something well done, we're done.
100%. I agree.
No question. Same goes with drinking. If we're at a place that has nice cocktails and everything you order has like blue curacao or apple pucker or peach schnapps in it, grow the fuck up. Like, it's just not happening. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Shrivels my wiener to nothing.
I agree.
I want to see a picture of that guy real badly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm so curious what he looks like.
I think he's cute. What do you think?
Yeah, he has glasses. That's all I know. But
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, because I love eating interesting foods, but I was like, I definitely order things well done, and I definitely love blue curacao. I was like, a blue Hawaiian, come on, that's a fucking great drink.
Really?
I was like the flagship drink of the Columbus Funny Bone. I was like, don't knock it till you've tried it, my friend.
See, that's interesting because I associate these eating habits. Let's say if it's a one-off. I've known you for years and you're like, I'm going to get the blue Hawaiian. Obviously, I'm not going to shit on you.
Yeah.
But if every time we go to dinner.
No, that's not my go-to drink.
Yeah, and you're like, I got to have the blue syrup.
No.
I got to have my sweet.
No.
Yeah, like, because I have a cousin that eats like a retard, like what this guy is saying.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go out and I want the well done steak, and then I want to order like the sweetest, sugariest, grossest drink on the menu. And she eats like an idiot. Yeah. I know what this man is talking about. It's the habitual fatso. Like one time I remember I was at her house and I spent the night there and she's making me breakfast and it's like bacon, eggs, waffles. She's like, do you want coffee? And she starts making me like a fucking chocolate milkshake. Like a Yoo-hoo with coffee in it. I'm like, dude, this is like 5,000 calories. Yeah. I can't. Like, I don't do this, dude.
Yeah, no.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I can't. I mean, that's amazing if she can eat that like that and not be heavy. But
dude, she won't leave. She lives in this shitty part of California. Like, imagine that there's like this awesome city called Los Angeles, but then you choose to live like an hour outside of it in a place that fucking sucks dick. And you're like, why are you here, bro? You could be in like the good place. You know what she told me? We got an El Torito. We have a good El Torito.
What is that? It's like a fast Mexican food?
Yeah. It's a chain.
Are you being serious?
No,
That's the real reason she gave you.
Swear to fucking Christ. She's like, we got El Torito. I got my islands. Like, I got everything I need here.
Okay. I wanted to judge her for a second, but then I was excited when they opened up a Marshall's on the Lower East Side. So
I like Marshalls.
I really like Marshalls.
I like Marshalls too. There's a lot of good finds.
I really like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it's a way where you can use retail therapy without making yourself go broke, and that is very cathartic to me.
Yeah, me too. I like to buy a lot of shit for a little bit of money. Feels good.
So I like soaps. Like I like to have a new soap pump every time. Just go crazy.
What do? You get online, you get the, what's that shit called? Not Bed Bath & Beyond?
No, I just go into Marshall's and I just buy a new, like a wild new soap. Instead of having like a keep forever container, I just like to get a new one. It's like it's experience for me.
I know what you're saying. You got to do something to make
Where
you
my
feel...
mom's at? Not doing that. Taking care of their children.
No, you got to get your joys where you can.
Yeah,
Small
I really
joys.
like that.
Yeah. What's your guilty pleasure?
Eating or life?
Just in life.
God, I'm trying to.
What do you do that you'd be embarrassed about if people knew?
This is not embarrassing, but I'm like really obsessed with ASMR on TikTok. I really like it.
That's where they talk like this.
Yes, and then there's weird ones.
I hate
there's
it.
a woman who runs a fake nail supply store. There's no customers, but there'll be like interactions where she's just talking to this phone screen, and there's robberies. The credit cards are getting declined. She has a whole setup on the back wall of products. I don't even know, how do you become mentally ill enough to think of that? Like, I'm so I love it, and I don't want to knock it because I've watched it for like 3 hours. So who's more mentally ill?
Oh yeah,
Me.
this guy right here.
Yeah,
I go on deep. I'm obsessed with this one TikToker. I don't want to say her name, but
I love
she's kind of a hoe. Like, I love her because she's like a stripper and like a porno girl, whatever.
Yeah.
And man, like I check her shit every day. I'm like, what's up with her? Like, I have to like know. I'm like,
You're like her reply guy.
I'm like, did she get her Amazon package? We've been waiting for that. Like, did she get the shampoo she ordered? Like, I'm so invested.
She's
in
an
her life.
engaging woman. You can't just follow the fun, man. You can't deny it.
Oh, I know. Would you ever do sex work?
I've thought about this a lot. I think I would. I have
too. If I had to support my kids and I had no like money, yeah, dude.
I think I would definitely be a stripper.
Easy.
Definitely. I think I would be more interested in it than the club would be in booking me.
Oh, same.
And after I took my clothes off, they'd be like, that's not what we were looking for. But then you go to some strip club sometimes and you're like, or either that, or I would make more money than everyone because
you're so different.
people they would catch on that customers like when your stomach protrudes out more than your nipple. Maybe they would be like, there was actually a market for that, and we didn't know.
Yeah, there's a market for like natural bods, which is what I got. I have a regular body, like a pumped out 2 kids regular bod.
Yeah,
some guys out there are like, I'm sure I like that regular body right there.
Yeah, I think there is like a huge market for that.
You know what I would do? Okay, here's money on the table. Number one, if I had to, and I've thought about this a lot, I would sell underwear.
Oh, yes.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah. Money on the table every day that I'm fucking throwing out. Every time I take off my panties, I'm like, I could be selling these.
You could.
Oh, okay.
But wait, okay, so
yeah,
I got a proposition once to shit in a Tupperware for $5,000. You would have done that?
Oh,
so I left money on the table.
I do it right now.
Okay, but
give me the Tupperware. I'll take a shit right now.
Do you want to know the first thing I Googled and my main concern was? I Googled, does poop contain your DNA?
That's what I would wonder.
That was my main concern, and it does. And I said, no, I can't. I said, and then I was like, but it's also like, yeah, this guy who's buying poop Tupperware is also clones in his free time. Like, he's also a scientist. Like, I don't know what my thinking was.
Well, hold on. You could still take that guy's money and then have your male comedian friend shit in the Tupperware as a gag. You know what I mean?
I would want him, but like, I feel like, number one, I feel like there was, he paid for my poop. I want to send him my poop. And then I don't want him to think I have boy poop,
Well, can you tell the difference between girl poop and boy poop?
I think so.
Can you?
I feel, yeah.
That's a very thought-provoking question.
Send us your photos.
Yeah, send us your Please. Yeah, I would sell dirty undies because those girls are like, I just did the Peloton for an hour and a half.
Right.
They're super sweaty. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Easy money.
Okay, number 2, feet pics. If I didn't have to show my face, because I've got nice feet, I would sell my feet pics. Do you have to show your face to do feet?
That's a good question. I had a very serious conversation with my mother probably like 10 years ago about becoming
My mother.
like a foot model, you know?
Yeah.
Going along with that. When I
Yeah.
first moved to New York, I remember being in the ocean in New Jersey being like, what do you think about this?
And what did she say?
She actually was pretty open-minded to it. And she was like, just make sure you like really know what you're getting into, you know? Because I think it was one of those things where they say you're not going to be doing weird stuff and then cut to you jerking off a guy
With your feet.
Yeah, we all know the story.
There's going to be jizz on my feet.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't even be against that if I could do it like through a glory hole, but I wouldn't want I would jerk someone off with my feet through a glory hole, but I don't know if that's like a thing.
Okay.
Everything's a thing.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Because you can still be anonymous and have your dignity.
And great core workout. That's Pilates.
Yeah. It's the reformer.
Yeah.
The dick reformer.
It's incredible. I'm getting paid to do something that was like really hard for me to do.
That's a good point. You know, you really are like, you see the bright side of everything.
Yeah,
I really like you.
No one said that before, but that's nice that you did.
Okay, and here's the last one I would do if I had no means. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like this is the easiest gig in the world. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. Being a dominatrix.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, because you just like get on the floor, wear this diaper. I'm gonna hit you. You don't have to make them come.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
They don't get to come with you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is like vacuum my apartment, shit on this glass table. Like, okay. And then now they've got these bitches that are like, what is that shit called where you take their money and you're like, I want you to
pay pigs. Yeah. Yeah.
Easiest money.
Yeah. Well, I know a woman who was on Guys We Fucked years ago. Her name is Sarah Lynch, and she started a thing called the ignore line, where men will call her. She'll put the phone down and just go about her business, and they're like paying by the minute. She's bought multiple properties.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You meet someone like her, and then you go, "I'm a fucking idiot.
I'm an idiot." That's what I'm saying.
Idiot. Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Incredible. And she's living like the best lifestyle.
I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl that I follow on TikTok, I'll send her to you, but don't tell her I
won't.
We can't. Okay.
I love actually watching your Instagram stories when you feature TikToks because like you find really good ones.
Well, this is a sincere love. Like those are psychos that I love too. But these are she's like my real deal. So she's like, I made $5,500 in an hour doing a live. And I was just like, what? Like, how, bitch? And then in the next one, you know how people put on their makeup and curl their hair?
Sure.
And she's like, so here's what I do. And I'm like, yes, bitch. Like, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
And what she does is she's like, okay, I'm here for an hour. And, I start wearing a dress. And then at the 5-minute mark, I take off the dress, I put on a bikini. But I'm like, if you guys want to get to the next 5 minutes, you got to make the dollar amount. You got to give me tips to get up to like $1,000. Otherwise, I'm going to get off. I'm going to leave. And I'm like, this girl's so smart.
Yes.
5,500 bones.
That's so much money. How many followers did she have? Millions?
Just under a milli.
Okay. That's a sweet spot.
But this is what she says. Mm-hmm. She goes, but for your live, it doesn't matter how many there are. It's that you're paying attention to the ones that are there.
It's a loyalty factor for sure.
Like she really is good about maintaining the relationships with the men.
And that's where I would fail as a sex worker. And I know that. A lot of my friends are sex workers, and for me, it's like,
tell me, I'm dying here.
Like, anal, that's not the problem. The problem is like me hearing about how your day at work was. That's the part I couldn't get through. And I mean, like, that's not a joke at all. That's the part I couldn't get through. Because a lot of times people are paying more for the emotional support.
Yeah.
And because if it was just like this anonymous using my body as a vessel thing, like that's more about, I think, like your relationship with yourself. If you can handle that, not everyone's built for that. Yeah. But then as far as like the emotional connection, because that's what freaks me out about the dominatrix, that I would have to be alone in the room with that person and it would feel too intimate to me.
Ooh, I see what you're saying.
That would scare me a little bit. Because I mean, my personality obviously is great for that, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you'd be really qualified.
Yeah.
I wish you would look into this.
Well, and it's also, I don't know that I would find a lot of joy in it because I feel so dominant in every area of my life
I got you.
that I don't need another thing where I feel like that, That's why.
Yeah.
I work in only male industries. Like I went to film school. I'm a comedian and I own a baseball card store. I do dude
Dick shit all day. Same with me. I got 2 little dudes at home. I got the husband. I got booth dicks. I got dick.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we resolved that. I'm gonna let you go. I know you want to get your big show tonight. What are you doing? Which
Vulcan Gas Company.
Oh man, you're gonna have the best time.
I'm so excited. I've never even stepped. I've been outside. I've never stepped in the door. I've met Brian Redband at the door. That's the closest I've gotten in. But the videos look incredible. Joe DeRosa told me he had a wonderful time there, and that everyone's amazing. So I'm so excited to do the show.
That club is just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have the best time. I'm so glad you're in Austin. I hope you come back and visit more because you're just lovely.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Your podcast is amazing. I'm sure you guys, if you haven't heard it, you're fucking dumb and lame. Guys, we fucked. Christina Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Corinne Fisher. Do you want to plug anything? Any dates or any? Instagram?
I think based on when this airs, I'm only on the road this month, and then I'm gonna kind of just be bopping, I think, between New York and LA this year.
Cool.
Doing some writing stuff. I have Guys We Fucked, and then I also have Without a Country, which is like a roasting the news podcast that I do by myself. It's very fun.
Oh, how cool.
So yeah, and that's because I just wanted to look at the news from the perspective of the left and the right, and then kind of find truth in the middle.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I used to do it with Joe DeRosa, then I did it with Shane Smith for a little while, and then now I just do it by myself.
I'd like to hear that because I'm so curious about what the truth or what is really real anymore.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it really is. And that's the one good thing that the anti-Semite taught me. It's really just how to see another perspective.
Let me tell you, I'm real like laissez-faire on that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not the type that's like, oh, he's an anti-Semite, cancel him. He needs to be erased. I'm like, okay, I just don't fuck with you.
Right.
And, that's like a very Gen Xer thing. You're like, oh, you're crazy? Fine, be crazy. Just don't get near me, retard. I don't want to fucking hear it. Go away. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Go away, retard is a very Gen X.
Go away, retard. Kick rocks, tard. That's the name of my next podcast. Go away, retard. All right.
She's writing it down.
Go away, comma. It's go away, comma.
Yeah.
Retard.
Yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I like everybody to know my pronouns are gay and retarded. What are yours? Do you have pronouns, Corinne?
On Instagram, it says it. I thought that was one that was underused, and it felt like it suited me.
One last question. Do people use pronouns that you date? Do you find that to be a common thing?
Do they use it?
Yeah, like have
like
you ever,
men?
Yeah, straight men.
I wouldn't date a man who said his. I know that's not the progressive take on it. But if you have in your signature on your email he him, like
thank you.
If it's not something,
thank you.
If it's not the one we would have guessed, you don't need to specify.
That's a really succinct way of putting it. If it's not the one we would have guessed, you don't need to specify.
Stop fucking with me. I know it's to be like inclusive and stuff, but it honestly just feels pandering. Like if I had not the pronouns that you thought I had, and then but I was like she, her. It feels like I'm mocking people.
Yeah, you're like, bitch, we know you're fucking she, her.
Yeah,
it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
I hate everybody. All right. Corinne Fisher, you're an absolute delight. Again, thank you so much for coming in. It's just an honor to have podcast royalty in Austin. You're going to have a fucking great time tonight.
I'm excited.
All right. Thank you guys. Subscribe on YouTube. Come see me do live comedy, ChristinaPOnline.com. And that's it. Until next time, stay cool, moms. Bye. Hi, Mommy. Thank you for watching that episode. Did you like what you see? I hope you did. So why don't you subscribe? Just click the subscribe button and, hit the notification bell so you can get notified. And also, why don't you watch another video? Watch one of these. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, down there, whatever. There's so much stuff, bro. I make these all the time for you to watch. That's why I'm here. I love you.